While Donald Trump is weighing the pros and cons of attacking Iran, Iran itself may soon receive hypersonic anti-ship missiles from China, which it could use to strike the American armada in the Middle East. Iran is close to reaching a deal with China to purchase supersonic anti-ship cruise missiles amid a massive buildup of U.S. naval presence off the Iranian coast. Reuters reports this, citing 6 sources familiar with the negotiations. This, by the way, explains Iran's attempt to stall for time in the negotiations and even signal that the Ayatollah regime is supposedly ready to make concessions. And earlier, let me remind you, it became known that Iran had agreed with Russia to purchase 500 Verba mobile launchers and approximately 2,500 portable anti-aircraft missiles. And all these weapons will, of course, be directed against the Americans, while Trump is deciding whether to attack Iran or not. My name is Alexei Pecci, let's discuss this topic together. But before we start this episode, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and leave any comment under this episode. In addition, subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pecci News. The link is in the description of this video. There we publish breaking news as it comes in. So, while Donald Trump hesitates and can't decide on an attack on Iran, in Tehran they've decided not to waste any time and are arming themselves. Reuters reports that Iran is close to reaching a deal with China to purchase supersonic anti-ship cruise missiles amid a massive buildup of naval presence. According to the agency, the deal concerns the supply of Chinese CM-302 missiles. They have a range of about 300 kilometers and are capable of evading ship defenses due to their low-altitude flight and high speed. Weapons experts note that the deployment of such missiles will significantly enhance Iran's strike capabilities and pose a serious threat to the US Navy in the region. Next, I'll quote Reuters. If Iran acquires supersonic missiles to strike ships in this area, it will completely change the situation. These missiles are very difficult to intercept, and the US will also lose its strategic advantage. According to sources, negotiations for the purchase of missile systems began at least 2 years ago, but accelerated sharply after the 12-day war between Israel and Iran in June 2025. In the summer, when the negotiations entered their final stage, high-ranking Iranian military and government officials, including Deputy Defense Minister Masoud Orai, visited China to finalize the deal at the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Commenting on this story, Reuters stated that now is the best time to take advantage of military and security agreements with our allies. So, does that mean it's a hint that Iran will be in a hurry to buy such missiles from China? It's interesting that the White House did not directly comment on the possible deal, but a representative of the Trump administration reminded everyone of the American president's position, quote, "Either we make a deal or we'll have to take very tough measures like last time." Trump himself, let me remind you, stated on February 19th that Iran has 10 to 15 days to make a nuclear deal. Otherwise, as he put it, very bad things will happen. Meanwhile, the US has deployed the largest military force in the Middle East since the invasion of Iraq in 2023. According to Axios and Reuters, the Pentagon has presented Trump with several options, ranging from limited strikes to a full-scale campaign aimed at eliminating Iran's military and political leadership. But earlier, it became known that Iran had already reached an agreement with Russia to purchase 500 Verba mobile launchers and approximately 2,509 M336 portable anti-aircraft missiles for a total of 500 million euros. Over the course of 3 years, Moscow and Tehran signed the corresponding agreement back in December 2025. According to sources from the Financial Times, Tehran approached Moscow with a request to purchase portable missiles in July of last year amid US strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. That is, at the same time as with China, and here as well. Let me remind you that on January 17th, 2025, Russia and Iran signed a strategic partnership agreement, the purpose of which, according to both sides, is to deepen relations, including economic and military cooperation. And in mid-February 2026, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation reported that the naval forces of Russia and Iran conducted joint military maneuvers in the Gulf of Oman. And, as you understand, the exercises took place against the backdrop of ongoing tensions between Tehran and Washington, who are trying to negotiate a nuclear deal. And now Iranian representatives claim progress in the negotiations. However, against this backdrop, the US is increasing its military presence in the Middle East. In particular, the Iranian and Russian navies conducted maneuvers near the American aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln, which the White House sent to the shores of Iran in January 2026. Well, here, it seems to me, just like last year during the 12-day war, the US and Israel are trying to make things as confusing as possible. Because according to sources cited by Axios, the United States is close to launching a large-scale military campaign in the Middle East. According to one of President Trump's advisors, he is tired of the prolonged conflict with Iran, and in a possible war, Israel might also take part on the side of the US. On the other hand, it is stated that for now, the focus is on diplomacy and the nuclear agreement. That's why it's already obvious that Iran is trying to acquire as many weapons as possible for such a large-scale war. But it's also obvious that China and Russia are clearly not eager to enter a direct war with the Americans over Iran. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like if you found this episode interesting and useful. You can also support the work of this YouTube channel financially through your donation or subscription using the links and details in the description of this video or by scanning the QR code on your screen. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.